What's up, you guys? I'm Caitlin from Leave Me Alone Plants, and today we are going to be talking about everything you need to know when taking care of a Mccolleys Finale philodendron. Now, if you stumbled across this video and you thought to yourself, oh, that looks like a PrinceofOrange, what are you talking about, Mccolleys Finale? They are both very similar plants, and really the difference is going to be just in when they put out these new leaves, the color that they are. So, of course, the PrinceofOrange, like it says, is going to have more of an orange leaf, whereas this one, which I don't think is picking up my camera, to me in the little viewfinder that I have right here, it is looking orange, but these leaves actually, in person, are much more red and kind of just have that deeper color. So if you have one or the other, the care is essentially going to be exactly the same. So stay tuned and we will get into the care for these guys. So this plant is newer in my collection. I had recently been shopping in one of my local nurseries, what else is new? And when I walked in the very front, there had been an entire display of PrinceofOrange. Now, for the longest time online, I had been holding out just, for just the perfect little plant. I had been out on so many purges, and I really just had been on the hunt, and I saw them there, and then as I turned the corner, was a whole extra shelf of these guys, which, like I said, have this deeper, more red coloring to them. And instantly, of course, I was like, I need both of them. So I did get both. And I have to say, even though I wanted the PrinceofOrange for so long, I think that this one has kind of risen in favor with me over that PrinceofOrange. Now, naturally, when you're looking at these growing habits for these plants, they are, of course, going to be tropical plants, and when you're thinking about how they're growing in nature, they're typically going to be growing, lower on the forest floor, and because of that, they are going to be getting that dappled light that's coming through other plants, trees in the forest. So when you are providing light for these guys inside your house, they can 100% tolerate a lower lighting condition. They're going to like more of that filtered light. Now, if you have somewhere in your house that is a little bit brighter, that's, great, you can put them there too. As long as they are not getting direct sunlight, they will get burnt, they'll crisp up, and, it's just not going to be this wonderful thing. On the flip side of that, if you, decide you're going to lock it in a pitch dark bathroom, or just like put it in a sad corner where it's not getting any light, what you might start to notice is that it's either going to grow slower, or as it puts off these new leaves, they're not going to be super vibrant. They're just going to be duller in color. They might just come out green altogether, and you'll lose that beautiful color on the new leaves, which is probably why you're buying this plant in the first place. Now, just to address a question about the leaves that kind of confused me when I was first introduced to these plants was, why are, some of the leaves orange or red, and why are the other ones green? Now, when I had been shopping around on the internet, I had thought to myself, well, when I own this plant, I am going to take such good care of it that the whole thing is going to be orange. And unfortunately, that's just not how these plants work. Like I said, when the new leaves pop out, they have this beautiful vibrant color, and then as you can see with some of the bigger leaves, they kind of go through this transition where, they'll turn to a little bit of a deeper red, then maybe more of like a brown color, and eventually they just fully transition into a green leaf. And initially, I wasn't super crazy about this. I was just like, hey, I just want like a super vibrant plant. That's all I'm here for. I'll just cut off those green leaves at the bottom. But as time went on, I, really have come to love the journey that philodendron leaves go through. I think it's so cool that so many different varieties can start looking one way in the beginning and then completely transition to something new as they age. So if that is something that you'd be interested in, then this might be a great plant for you. And if you just want a plant that is completely orange like I did at one point, then I don't know, maybe go buy a fake plant. But yeah, these will go through a transition with the leaf color, so keep that in mind. When you're thinking about how to water these guys, again, they are going to be native to more tropical conditions, so while they're not going to want to have a soaking wet soil, they don't mind retaining a little bit of moisture in there. You might be able to see if I hold this up that this new leaf I have right here is kind of curling up a little bit. I definitely waited a little too long in between this guy's watering, so just gave him a little drink before this video, and hopefully he will be bouncing back to his normal uncrinkled self any day now. But yeah, rule of thumb, if you stick your finger in it and it is feeling dry on top, that's probably time for watering. Like I said, they do not mind some of that moisture in the soil. Now on the flip side of that, when you're looking at humidity for this plant, I think something that really attracted me to this plant to begin with is the fact that they can tolerate a lower humidity. You know, I wish I could just send this plant through the screen and you could feel it, but the leaves on this guy are pretty thick. Obviously, you know, not as waxy of a cuticle as something like a succulent, but they do a really great job of holding in that water, and because of that, they don't really have to worry about, you know, like crispy brown edges or something like that you might experience with like, oh, I don't know, Maranta. These guys overall are pretty easy when it comes to humidity, which if you live somewhere like dry like myself is fantastic. Now, if you're starting out with a plant that is this size or smaller and you are curious, you know, what it's going to look like as it ages, they only max out at about 1 foot tall. However, they can get to about 3 feet wide, so they'll kind of bush out as time goes on, and they can get a little leggy. So that kind of goes into our next point, which is propagation. There's not really like any good points on this plant right now that I would want to propagate the stem from, but if you do have a little bit of a more mature plant, or you know, you're just don't care what your plant looks like and don't mind kind of like hacking pieces off of it, you can do a stem propagation on these guys, and then of course just root it up like normal, and you will have a new Mccolleys Finale or PrinceofOrange or whatever variety of this philodendron that you currently have. These guys are considered toxic to pets, so of course if you have little critters crawling around your house, you will want to make sure that you either keep this guy on a higher shelf or just have it somewhere where they won't have access to. Now, as always, you know, make sure that you're, I guess, doing your own research on toxicity, but they do tend to be considered toxic to animals. Overall, for who would be a good person to own this plant, I think it's great for beginners, honestly. Like I said, the fact that it can kind of handle those lower light conditions, it doesn't need a ton of humidity, overall, I think makes it a great option for beginners. Plus, you know, it's just fun seeing these pops of color on a plant. It's not something that, you know, when I think a new plant person thinks of a plant, you just think like green leaves. So overall, I think these plants are really fun. They come at a great price point, and I would really recommend, if you don't have one already, to go out and treat yourself, girl, and just go get one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, but if it wasn't, of course, drop your questions down in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them to the fullest of my plant knowledge ability. And don't forget, while you're here, to subscribe to this channel. We always have new care videos for plants and some other fun things like unboxings, and of course we'll be doing some giveaways soon as well, so stay tuned for that, and don't forget to give this video a like if you found it helpful. Thank you guys so much for checking this one out, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.